Hey everybody, how are you? Okay, I wanted to show you this video. I wanted to make this video actually, and I know this is not a recipe or winemaking or herbalism or anything like that. This is regarding a battery device that I have gotten from Sears. It is a battery backup. And, the reason I bought this is because I sleep with a CPAP machine, which is a machine that is used for folks that have sleep apnea. And what it does is the machine keeps your airways open while you sleep. Okay, so, important things like you don't die happen. Anyhow, during Hurricane Sandy last year, I was without electricity, and I wanted to come up with a battery backup type of thing to power the CPAP machine in the event of being without electricity for an extended period of time. So I looked for battery devices for that, and they were very expensive, like $500–600. So I wanted to look for some alternatives, and I found this device. It's Sears, and basically what it is a power source, portable power source. And with this device comes a bunch of different things. You have 12 volt. You have the ability to plug in a 110 thing like my CPAP machine. My CPAP machine also runs off of 12 volts, so I could use that here as well. But I could also plug in regular plug-in AC appliances like, that you would plug into your house. It has a USB device port, so that I could plug in, say, cell phones and charge those. But this also has other things on it, like a light. If I put the light on, let's see. Has a light. It also has a compressor that I could use to pump up tires and things like that on the back. It also has a car jump starter, so I could has a pair of jumper cables that connect to it, that are connected to it, that you could put on your car to jump start a car. But if I want to turn on the inverter, I can turn that on, and what that'll do is that'll make the AC portion of this work. If I push this button down, I can see the percentage of charge that this has. Now, what you need to do when you buy this thing is plug it in with an extension cord. I have this extension cord in the back that I bought. And you got to plug it in once you get it home from the store. Charge it for 3 days to get it all charged up before you even use it at all. So they say the second you get it home, charge it for 3 days before using it. And once a month, charge it. Make sure it stays charged. Now, this is my second one of these devices, and I know a lot of people have had problems with these devices. The thing is if the battery gets too low, you'll kill the battery, so you got to keep it charged. But what happens when you buy it off the shelf and it's just sitting there? Well, the first device I had, if I put this on to see how much it's charged, I noticed it didn't go past 97%. But when I unplugged it from the charge, the extension cord from the wall, then it went to 100%. Well, that's kind of odd. Why would it say 90%? Also, when I started using it, the power would drop off, dramatically. So it wasn't really storing the charge so well. And even if I wasn't using it, I could charge it as far as it would go. Once I just unplugged it, it wouldn't retain the charge even without using it. Alright, so I went back to Sears and I said, hey, they're like, oh, we got to test it, this, that, the other thing. And basically what I told them was, my friend has this exact same device, which he does, and we put it next to mine, and his that behaves differently than mine. And so they tested it, and sure enough, there was a problem with it, and they gave me another one that was brand new. And this one is behaving perfectly. So I would say be, if you're going to get one of these things, be perseverant in making sure that you get yourself a good one. Because if the battery inside is dead, then it's dead. And we're not holding the charge. It's not holding the charge. I'm going to show you something, though. When I bought this box, you see that number there? 513? That's when this one was produced. So if you're looking at these on the shelf, you might want to look at these and try to get one with the latest date. Okay? Because there was some that said 313, 413, and I happened to find one that said 513. Look for one with the later date, because that will mean that it's newer and not sitting on the shelf so long. You have a better chance of getting a good one. Here's the box. You can see the jumper cables on the back and all that. There is also a 400 amp or 400 watt inverter built into it, so I could have up to 400 watts running, a 400 watt inverter running out of those AC plugs, 110 AC. You wouldn't use things like hair dryers and stuff in that, but CPAP machine work perfectly fine. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is realistic expectations. There are folks that say devices like this stink because they took them to a cabin camping and they hooked it up to their CPAP machine and it didn't work more than just a couple days. Well, I think it's unrealistic to think that this device is going to work more than a couple days. You need to recharge it in between. Well, if you have no power, that 12 volt, alternatively, you could use a 12 volt jack over there to get a cord and plug that into your car cigarette lighter. And you could charge this thing as you're driving back and forth to work every day. So, like for me, if there was a disaster and I didn't have electricity, I could take this device and put it in my car and bring it to work. Or I could either plug it in at work if I have electric at work, or I could plug it into my car with the 12 volt jack over there. And as I'm driving back and forth to work, I could get my device recharged. So again, I wouldn't think that this thing is going to keep me going for a couple days in a mountain cabin somewhere without recharging it. That's a little bit unrealistic to think of this device. Okay, so there's my 12 volt jack over there. And I could plug in a cable from here to my cigarette lighter. That also looks like a cigarette lighter too, so it's like a double jack that you would plug into your cigarette lighter, one into there, one into here. So that's it. I wanted to give this to you guys, tell you about my experiences. In a nutshell, this is a great little device. It'll last a day or two for a CPAP machine. It's a great alternative to the $500-something for the battery devices that they have for those, machines. It'll get you through the night at least, and you can have to charge it. It also gives you the benefit of powering some AC devices, some DC devices, recharging your cell phones and stuff like that off the USB, giving you a light, giving you a compressor on the back that you can, plug into your car tire and pump it up. Compressor, it gives you the inverter, gives you a light, and hey, if you ever had to jump start your car, it works for that too. Alright, and it's okay. In a nutshell, you need to know is the device needs to be charged 3 days out of the package before you use it. Pick yourself a good one and try to get one with the date that says, like this one says 513 on the top. Make sure that the seal is not broken, that someone say you returned it. And what else? If it doesn't seem like it's charging well after a couple days. If it doesn't seem like it's keeping the charge, even if you unplug it and not use it, in other words, if it says 100%, and then you unplug, see this right here? You can tell by pushing this button down. If that says 100%, and you leave it unplugged and not use it, and the next day you come back and it's 91%, then you can say, hey, you know what? This thing isn't storing a charge. Bring it back. Bring it back right away with your receipt. And they might give you a hard time about it, because the guy at the store told me a lot of people, they have a problem with their car, so they'll just walk into the place, buy one of these things without charging it, jumpstart their car, and immediately go return it. And that basically kills the battery, okay, because they didn't charge it first for 3 days. So there's a lot of people doing things like that. So that's what the guy told me. Make sure the seal's not broken, and make sure your thing holds a charge. If it holds a charge, it says 100%, lights burn bright on it and all that, then you got a good one. If you don't have a good one, exchange it until you get a good one, and I think you'll be happy with it. This thing should run probably about 2 days for me without a recharge, although I would be recharging it every day if I had to deal with that for my CPAP machine. So anyway, I hope that was helpful for you, and wish you the best of luck. Any ideas or any comments, please post them below, and stay well. Talk to you soon.